What's up, you beautiful people? Welcome to another episode. So, today I want to share with you how you can command respect like the top 1%. And it's very simple. One of the things that I've noticed having the privilege of spending time with some of the most incredible people on the planet is they all share one common trait, one thing that I do think is the definitive trait that separates them from the average, from the ordinary. And it's simply emotional control. It's the ability to control their emotional responses or to use their emotion in service of their goals, not to be a slave to their emotion. The way that this, I think, most often presents is this idea of poise. People who command respect, they always have control. They always, even in a crisis, even in the midst of chaos, they remain calm, cool, collected. They have poise. And this attracts people to them. It makes people want to respect them because they know they can rely on that person. At the end of the day, respect is simply the belief that I can rely on you to do a thing that is for the good of the community. But the reason I think that most people struggle with emotional control or with poise or with this idea of acting in spite of how they feel. Like if I could boil down, if you could just do one thing to move towards your goals, it would be this. It would just be to act in spite of how you feel. Layla Hormozi always says, fuck your feelings, follow the plan. It's that simple. But there is a simple reason why most people don't do this. And it's something, I think, called imposter syndrome. And I wrote about this morning, and I want to share with you what I wrote, because I think the reason we get in our own way, it's not other people. It's not our friends, our family that tell us, oh, you can't do this. It's us repeating that belief to ourselves, saying, I don't fit in here. I don't belong here. This isn't for me. And that becomes our self-fulfilling reality. And so on those days when you lack self-belief, when you lack that confidence, that conviction that you are who you say are, that you are capable, I just want you to remember that I personally feel like a fraud most days. And if you've ever felt that way, then just know you are not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. Imposter syndrome isn't a sign that you're doing things wrong. Listen, like, if you're new here and you have no idea who I am, like, just over the last 12 years, to give you some context, I've built multiple multi-million dollar businesses. I've written 13 best-selling books. I have an online following of over 500,000 people, and I built a $100 million real estate portfolio. And despite all of that, I still feel like an imposter more days than not. Like I don't fit in. Like somehow I got lucky, and that at any moment it's all going to come crashing down. And I'm so blessed to be able to step into rooms with some of the most incredible, successful people in the world, right? Olympians. It's so cool. High-end executives, people who've built some of the coolest, biggest businesses in the world. And each time I get to meet these people, I think to myself, like, how did I get here? It seriously sometimes feels like I snuck in the back door. And at the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, I took that feeling to mean that something was wrong with me. Like I was supposed to feel some other way, like I had arrived somehow. And yet, I suppose something I've come to learn just over the years is, I guess is best summarized by this Haitian proverb, which is behind mountains, more mountains. Simply put, we don't climb mountains with the intention of staying at the top. Like, it's nice to get to the summit, you take some pictures, but after like a very surprisingly short period of time, you're already looking off into the distance at the next mountain on the horizon. And before you've even caught your breath, you begin dreaming about that again, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Humans were made to climb. But every new mountain, it comes with its own unique set of obstacles and challenges. And that's the point, right? That's why we climb, is to be challenged, to push beyond your current capacity, to see what there is to discover, not at the top, but within yourself. The greatest measure of a man is found in which mountains he climbs and with whom he climbs those mountains. But here's the thing. When you're truly pushing yourself to the limits of your ability, there will inevitably arise doubts. I mean, how could they not? You're attempting something that by definition you've never done before. There's no guarantee of success, which is, I guess, in the final analysis, what makes it such a worthwhile endeavor in the first place. So just remember this, like when the road gets hard and you're filled with self-doubt, just remember, if you don't ever feel like an imposter, it's probably because you stopped growing. You stopped reaching for goals beyond your current capacity. You stopped stepping into rooms with people operating beyond your level. If you don't ever want to feel like an imposter, then just stop striving. But if the cure for the imposter syndrome sounds worse than the disease, then just accept that it's the price you must pay to do the things you've never done before, and just keep going. And if there's one thing that universally connects all humans and makes them feel respect, is to see somebody who shows up every day and does the work regardless of how they feel. If you can do that, you will have earned the respect of the most important person, at minimum, which is your own. So, that's all I got for you today. I'll see you tomorrow.